Breaking tonight, less than 24 hours until the candidates take the stage here at the Fox News Republican presidential debate. And the pollsters at Monmouth say turnout will be key at the caucuses coming up. They released new numbers this morning showing Donald Trump currently leading in Iowa, followed by Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio rounding out the top three. But they went on to say the Trump numbers are driven by a lot of first-time caucus goers who may turn out or not. Joining me now with a look ahead to tomorrow night's debate and the Iowa caucuses, Republican presidential candidate and Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Senator, great to see you.
Great to see you.
All right, so this time tomorrow night, you're going to be behind that podium right up there, and I'm going to be sitting on that stage. What are you going to do between now and then, if anything, to get yourself extra ready?
Well, we got to anticipate what questions you're going to ask me. So
well,
we got to be working on
some of them are right in here.
Okay, well, we'll try not to look. But, you know, it's just another opportunity, probably the last opportunity to talk to people here in Iowa about why they should caucus for me. And I've been telling people all week, if they nominate me, I'm going to beat Hillary Clinton. We'll win this election. I'll unite the Republican Party, and I will go out and talk to people that haven't voted for us before. We'll create new conservatives, people that are living the way I grew up, paycheck to paycheck. Young people that are struggling under student loans, like I had student loans.
Now you're going to your stump speech, which is nice, but I don't
we're going to grow the conservative movement, and so I want to talk about that tomorrow. How not just how you're going to unite the party, but how we're going to grow the conservative movement.
How are you going to unite this party? I mean, look what's been in the news over the past week or two. How are you going to unite this party, let alone the country?
Well, part of it is normal, part of an election, and part of it is kind of the sideshow element of it, you know, and I know it's very interesting. Donald is not going to come, and Ted has challenged him to a mano, one-on-one. Very interesting sideshow. I know it makes for good TV, but this is a serious election. This is not a game. I mean, the future of America is at stake. I believe deeply if Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton is elected, it's going to be a disaster for America. We've got to take this seriously. The people in Iowa deserve to hear from the next commander-in-chief what they will do to keep America safe, and they deserve to hear from the next president what we're going to do to help this economy grow again. So that's what I look forward to doing tomorrow.
What do you make of the fact that, you know, right up to today, you are just getting slaughtered by these ads? I don't mean that's having an effect on your campaign. I just mean they're all coming after you.
Yeah.
And today, Jeb Bush's super PAC released another ad hitting you on your credit card situation. This is an old story that haunted you when you were running for Senate. They still elected you, but they're making an issue out of whether.
Well, it's actually incredibly cynical because Jeb knew about that story. He knew what a joke it was and how it wasn't serious. That's what the Democrats and my liberal opponent attacked me on, and Jeb supported me for Senate, despite all that in 2010. And again,
but on second thought, it's a problem.
Well, and he endorsed me for vice president in 2012. But, you know, Jeb's super PAC is spending close to over $1 million a day attacking me. And they told me that would happen. I don't think it has, other than the fact that, you know, it's a lot of money that he's now, you know, the Clinton super PAC is now basically promoting the Jeb videos. I mean, that's how sad it's gotten here. But in the end of the day, the people here in Iowa see through that. I feel very confident about it. And there's also a reason why the Democrats attack me more than any other Republican, because they know if I'm our nominee, the Republicans win.
I want to ask you about, we talked the last time we met about faith, because you had this video speaking about your faith and how we should all want it to influence you if you become the president. It went viral, and then you came out with an ad, I think it was just today in Iowa, talking a little bit about your position on these issues. Watch.
For me, the issue of abortion and life is not a political issue. It's a human rights issue. I will look for ways to limit the number of abortions in this country, particularly those late-term abortions, where children who are viable outside the womb are still being killed. If I have to make a choice, I am going to choose life.
Now, what about that? Because that may appeal to Iowa voters, but many feel that if you become the nominee, you have to appeal to the general electorate, that will be alienated to independents who may be more socially liberal, fiscally conservative. What do you think?
Well, first, I always tell people where I stand, and that's where I stand. I'm deeply pro-life. I believe that all human life is worthy of the protection of our laws. I've always recognized it's a tough issue. You have a young girl who's pregnant, knows she's going to have to raise the child by herself, and she's scared. That's tough. And I recognize that a woman has a right to control her body. But I believe there's another right at stake, and that's the right of a human being to live. These two rights are in conflict. And so as a policymaker, I have to choose. And I've chosen life. And voters deserve to know that. I don't even view it as a political issue. I view it as a human rights issue.
What do you make of, and the Cruz Trump dust up is it's been something to watch. But what do you make of the fact that Trump is right now saying he's not going to participate tomorrow night?
Well, obviously he has a right not to come. I mean, you can't force someone to come. I do think voters in Iowa deserve to know what the next commander-in-chief and president is going to do, and that's what these debates serve as, an opportunity to answer that question. You know, I think we have a right to be angry in this country about the direction of our country, but anger is not a plan. Anger doesn't solve the problem. It maybe motivates you to do something, but voters deserve to know, if we elect you president, what are you going to do? They're not going to be able to hear that tomorrow from Donald, but he has a right not to come. Obviously, it mean more time for the rest of us.
Is it exciting to move closer and closer to the center?
Well, I wish I had moved different. I wish I had been for other reasons, but it will be in the end. And I'm excited about the chance to talk to Iowa voters one last time.
I got to ask you one last question before I let you go. Is there any ritual you go through before you go out there?
Well, I don't know about it's a ritual. I mean, I like going to church in the morning and Catholic Mass before our debate days.
Do you say a prayer before you go out on stage?
Sure. I say multiple prayers a day. Some days less than others, I forget, but I try to pray often. You know, you don't have to be on your knees to pray.
Yeah. Well, we'll be seeing you this time tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.